Unishna, Nin Wabishke Migwan, Migizi Dudem. We have a fire in the forest. It's the home of the Anishinaabe. We are in the land of the Wapiti. But when you see a fire in the distance, there are people who gather because there's always a good fire. Good carrot stew. Friends stop by. The Tuscarora, Lakota, and the Huron. I welcome my brothers. We sit at the fire, our home in the forest. We talk on good things. I ask that the spirits hear the stories we share here today. This story is from the past, from a long time ago, to a time when the earth was young, when only the traditional people were walked the earth. Boy, the mosquitoes are thick tonight, brothers. Anyway, many years ago, there was a warrior. His name was Minabuzu, and he gave a gift to the Anishinaabe, to all tribes. He gave the gift of tobacco, which is a sacred medicine, one of the four. Tobacco, sweetgrass, sage, and cedar. We made our tobacco. We grew it ourselves. And one day, an evil medicine man came in. And he went to all tribes and stole every bit of tobacco that they had, the seeds. And we used these for our pipes, for the Pawagan. We would fill them, and our prayers would go to the Creator much faster. But it was a hard time because prayers could not be said without the tobacco. So many warriors tried to build a boat to get to the island where he took it. They'd build boats out of the trees. They would hollow them out, burn them out, and dig out as much as they could. But they were heavy, and they were slow. And one night, a warrior who worked with wood a lot and knew the spiritual side of the trees decided to build one a different way. He decided to build one with birch. So he made a frame. And he let them soak in water and then shaped it in the shape of what he called a jiman, a canoe. Then he went out and he took the bark off of trees, but you didn't want to take too much bark. You didn't want to kill the trees. So we took a thin portion of the birch tree. He tried many others before, but the birch worked the best. Then he took the sap and he put it in the cracks to put along the edges in order to make it watertight. He put it in the water and he tried it. Oh, it worked good, and it was the fastest G-Man ever built. So he thought, I'm going to do it tomorrow night. He got his G-Man ready, and he told no one what his plans were. So he took that boat out at night, and he paddled over to the island of that medicine man named Grasshopper. For he was the one who stole the tobacco. He got to the lodge and he saw a fire. So he went towards the fire and he saw that medicine man sitting at the fire. But he wasn't watching his lodge. So he cut a hole in the back of the lodge and he stole all the seeds and tobacco that old man had. And he snuck back to his G-Man, quietly as he could, walking on his tiptoes like the deer when they're trying to escape, to be very quiet. But he stepped on a twig, and the old man heard the twig snap, and he screamed a war cry, and that warrior run for his G-Man, jumped in, started paddling, and that Grasshopper was right behind him, paddling in his G-Mun. But the old man's G-Mun was slow. He made it to shore ahead of him, jumped out, and ran to the village of his people. Took the tobacco and the seeds into the longhouse and stashed them away. Then he went back outside because he heard the G-Man coming. He was doing the war cry. And all the other warriors woke up and came out. They were standing around him as that evil medicine man came up and he said, "Give me what you stole from me, young warrior." No. So the evil medicine man reared back some of his most powerful medicine and threw it towards the warrior, but he blocked. And the medicine didn't work. Well, he had his own medicine from his grandmother's, passed down from generations, and he threw it and said, "I'm going to change you so you'll have to stay on the island." And that man turned into a creature that was on the ground, a six-legged creature, and he had two back legs that were very powerful. Well, that poor medicine man, he started to beg for his life because he knew them warriors could kill him at any minute. So he started to beg and he said, "I need some help. You kept and stole the tobacco from my own people. We will not give you help. I have no way to get back to my island." That young warrior said, "What I will do is, I will add some more medicine, but it's only if you promise to stay on your island." "I promise," he said. "And you must learn how to share." So he threw more medicine on him and it grew wings. And that's how the grasshopper became a grasshopper. He flew back to his island and that's where he stayed. But he was very angry, so he told his ancestors that they would always go and eat all the grass they could from that island to steal the crops from the natives. Well, the warriors had their tobacco back so they could pray to the Creator. Now that is the end of the story. But I tell you this, today, when you find a grasshopper and you pick him up, my grandchild, he will spit in your hand. And what he's trying to say is, "See, I have learned how to share. Will you help me?" Miigwech, 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 miigwech.